Yeah, it's the Nissan Frontier 2015. Here's a body shot. Hopefully y'all can hear me over that announcer over there. They're having a car show. It's a pretty nice looking little truck. Not too big. Nice cabin space back here. Cab space, I think that's what you call it. And there you have it. It's a truck, 4 doors. That's the outside of it. Let's dive in and see what we're working with on the inside. So I'm inside, and as far as features go, it's pretty nice for a truck. Bluetooth phone controls, volume controls on the wheel. I always look for that. Cruise. Your screen up here looks pretty basic. Nothing fancy and digital. But it'll get the job done. It's what we're used to. Down there you do have a picture that shows a certain feature that I'll get to in a moment. Power windows, power locks. Cargo lamp, downhill mode, whatever that stands for. Y'all truck drivers will have a better idea than I do, because I don't really drive a truck. The radio is nice. You get a nice screen that shows an easy to read display. It's not touch operated, but hey. CD player up top. Satellite radio is an option. And I'm not sure if this one has a 6 CD changer, but usually when it has this, that means it has a 6 CD changer. But don't quote me on that. That might just be radio station presets. But if it has a 6 CD changer, that's nice, Nissan. Can't confirm that right now. Basic climate controls. Nothing too outstanding about the setup here. You got some cup holders that can hold a larger cup when you remove this little plastic thing here. And down in this compartment you have auxiliary jacks and a phone charger in a nice deep armrest compartment. And this, it feels like if you can imagine the bottom of your shoes, like that rubber feel, that's what this armrest feels like. It's not plastic, it feels like rubber. Pretty decent seat material. Not too bad, but it's not nothing fancy. And yeah, it's a truck. This is what trucks usually look like up front. Little storage spot for your shades, and that's about it as far as something fancy in this trim. Now back to this picture on the screen. You have drive settings. Don't quote me on exactly what these stand for, because I don't know, but I'm guessing it's 4-wheel drive. 4H, when you activate that, you know, you go from 2-wheel drive to 4H, which looks like a 4-wheel drive setting to me. And if you push in and turn a little more, you get 4 low. And I have no idea what 4 low means, but if you're looking at a truck and you know about trucks, I'm sure you know what that means, and that'll be something you'll look for. So, different drive settings in a Nissan Frontier. That's important to you truck drivers. I know a lot of people look for 4-wheel drive, and I'm thinking that that's what that is. So, that's nice. Let's take a look at the back and see how much room we have in the back seat. Okay, here I am back here, and I gotta say, it's not too comfortable. I feel like I'm sitting straight up. I can't like lean back in the seat, and the leg room isn't too good. Not a lot of space to work with. But it's a 4-door truck, so you can't complain. If you want more room, you have to go with one of those super big daddies like that Dodge Ram quad cab, or that Silverado or F-150. So, here's the look from the back seat. The beauty shot of what you'll be looking at when you take a seat in this thing. It's not bad looking. It's kind of like the Dodge Ram. It reminds me of a truck that's caught in between trying to modernize but still having that old school classic truck driver, that old school classic truck look that truck drivers probably like. Because when I think about truck drivers, I'm sorry, I don't think about people who look for technology and want a fancy looking interior. I think about people who want just plain basics and something that they can get the job done with when they go to work, when they use the truck. So the radio is kind of like slightly modernized, but everything else is basic old school truck. And that's the look they went with in the 2015 Frontier. Taking it for a spin, and I gotta say, I'm already conflicted. The acceleration and the ride are some of the smoothest I've ever felt in a truck. I mean, I feel like I'm just riding effortlessly and gliding, not really feeling any bumps in the road, and the acceleration doesn't sound like it's struggling to keep up with my foot, my heavy foot. But the wheel is where I'm having some problems. I mean, it's a little stiff. I don't know if that's what you would call the power steering or whatever. You know, some vehicles, when you turn the wheel, it's just like real easy and buttery and smooth like velvet. This one feels more like Velcro or something. Velcro polyester cotton combination. I don't know, I'm not a person that sews, I don't know fabrics, but listening to that engine roar, and I'm hitting some bumps and I don't really feel them. So I guess that's why people love Nissans. You know, those Japanese automakers, they know how to make a comfortable riding vehicle. But the wheel could be a little easier to work with. You know, hitting this turn, it's not as easy as I would like it to be. Not as far as the turn from the truck, it's just the wheel. You know, it's a little stiff on the wheel. Other than that, I don't really have any complaints with the way it feels as I drive down this back road. A very bumpy back road. You can probably hear it in my voice and see it in my camera, depending on how good my anti-shake is kicking in. Definitely about to go over a bumpy patch here. Let's see. Look at that big pothole in the road. Let's see how this truck handles it. Oh, I didn't really even feel it. More bumps. And this is important because I'm sure if you're driving a truck like this, you're probably going to be doing some off-road driving. You can probably hear me hitting these bumps. Look at this. This is a rough road. And I barely feel it from where I'm sitting. That's impressive. So I can't complain on how it drives overall. I mean, me wishing that the wheel was a little smoother is just like a nitpicky type thing compared to how well it's performing over these bumpy roads. So I gotta give Nissan kudos for that. Got a little car show going on over there. Not the best shot. And there you have it, the 2015 Nissan Frontier. Overall, a pretty good truck. If I was gonna buy a truck, I'd probably buy a truck like this. Based on, I mean, the size wise. I don't really need those super huge trucks. But what's my score? Average car guy review score. I go ahead and give this one a 4 out of 5. I'm pretty impressed with the way it drove, and I don't expect much as far as interior from a truck. Based on the size category it's in, I think it's a pretty good value, pretty good truck as far as the ride and the Nissan brand name. So yeah, 4 out of 5. I think it's a solid truck. Check it out, and maybe you'll like it. I don't really think there are too many trucks in this size to compete with it, actually, because Ford had the Ranger, but they discontinued that model, I think. And I think Chevy had a smaller model. I can't think of the name of it. And there was a GMC Canyon. If those models are still around, I haven't seen them, but that's the class this one is in. If you're not familiar, think of like the Ford Ranger. I'm sure y'all are familiar with that one. Small truck with 4 doors, but I think this is probably the best truck out right now that I've tried in this size. So yeah, 4 out of 5. I'll see y'all on the next one.